Alright guys, hello, another video for you all. More content on X-Wing Virtual Machine and Voice Attack. Today is the day when I share my more advanced profile with you to get things done in-game using your voice. I know some of you are excited about this because it is fun and it can be very, very helpful. Now there's lots to talk about to get this set up and for you to get the best out of Voice Attack software, so I'll break the video down with timestamps and that gives you chapters. I've done some testing, but if you find problems, put it in the comments. And then I will look at the profile. If it needs fixing, I'll correct it. I'll update those download links in the description of the video and a pinned comment below. Now, the bad news is if we want to get this done, stuff in game with our voice, we're going to need a few things that might cost some of you a little bit of money. We obviously need a microphone to talk to the computer. The better the microphone is, the better it'll understand us. Not all microphones are made equal. Maybe the only microphone you have is built into your webcam and that's more than a meter away from you. It will struggle to hear you because of the speakers. Maybe move it closer to your keyboard, closer to you. Maybe you've got one built into your headset. Different headsets, different makes, different quality of mic. Maybe it's a Razer headset. Maybe it's Corsair. They can all have different microphones. Now, I did do a video because I did testing with the built-in microphone of my Quest 2 headset. That is not a particularly good microphone. And yet you can watch that video and you can see as long as I stuck to the short phrases, it did a very, very good job of understanding me and getting things done with that mediocre mic. So even with built-in headset mics, there's a good chance it will work in Voice Attack. The better the microphone is, the better it'll understand you. This is my Antlion mod mic. It cost me £90 or more a few years ago. It's magnetic. I can detach it from this headset, connect it onto my VR headset. I prefer to use this, but as I said, I've had success with lesser microphones. So this one built into my Corsair Void Elite headset. This is a wireless, that built-in mic that worked when I stuck to the short phrases as well. So the good news is that everything else that I'm sharing with you, the Droid sounds, and they're obviously not my sounds, but I've saved you having to source them over the internet. I give them to you for free to use. The Voice Attack profile, I've created it, spent time doing it, choosing phrases and telling it which keyboard keys to press. All of this is for free for you to have fun with. Edit it, make changes, edit the phrases, put in new phrases, change the Droid sounds, do whatever you want to do. I just want the community to have fun with it. Right, so before we get set up, before you spend any money, shall we just cover whether this is actually worth doing, worth spending the money on? I shared a basic profile a while ago. And I had people come back saying, this is a blast, this is so much fun, it's awesome. I'm playing in VR with a gamepad, it's essential. To the other end of the spectrum where I go on the XWVM Discord and I have the mod testers saying Voice Attack isn't worth it at all. So it's like two ends of the spectrum, isn't it? I'll try and play it down the middle and be honest. Do we need it? No. Is it nice to have? Yes, it can be very helpful and it can add to the immersion, and for what it's going to cost us, I don't think that's too bad at all. So the tester that said it was slow, it wasn't worth using Voice Attack, they know what they're talking about. They do actually use Voice Attack and they're actually writing what they say. What they actually said was, if you've got a HOTAS, your hand is on a throttle and on a stick, you've got lots of spare buttons, you can bind commands to that, it's just quicker to push a button. And of course they're absolutely right. It's just as quick to push a keyboard key as well. And the thing is, will you remember them? If I stop playing XWVM for a few weeks or a few months and I come back to it, am I going to remember each game action I bound to my Wing Orion 2 throttle? No, I'm not. I'm really not. Am I going to remember all of my Voice Attack commands? Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them I'll remember because they're just logical. Full speed, 1/3 speed, full stop, dead stop, cycle shields, cycle deflectors, recharge lasers, recharge shields, target nearest enemy, attack my target. I can reel this stuff off because it's pretty obvious what we want to do and what we should say. So yeah, I probably will remember the commands. Now, if I have family and friends over that are Star Wars fans, they'll want to try this out and they'll want to play it in VR to feel like they're in the cockpit. Now we're starting to throw more spanners in the works. Yes, they can use my HOTAS and they'll love that. That makes them feel like they're in that cockpit, but they'll have no muscle memory for where those buttons and switches are. I can't point out what button does what because they can't see. They've got the VR headset on. So they can do the basic controls, pull the trigger to fire. Are they going to remember what button does what because I told them before to put the VR headset on? No. Are they going to remember all of the the voice commands in VR? Well, yeah, if it's logical, a lot of it will make sense what they've got to say. So it should really help with immersion. All they see is the cockpit. They can feel the controls and they can use their voice. And hear R2-D2 beeping back or the wingmen talking back to them. All together, it makes for a pretty epic experience. One of the other testers said voice attack is only worth bothering with to do the commands to your wingmen, your AI companions. I know where they're coming from. They're absolutely right, because it's finger gymnastics to do those commands on the keyboard. I think shift is the modifier. You hold that down and press A, or you hold shift and R and shift and H to get the different commands down. They're all spanned all over the keyboard, all over the place. It's kind of awkward. But if that's all they want to do, as far as they want to go with the immersion, is just speak to their wingmen, and that's what they want, and they're having fun, that's cool. You can go further than that because I've done more commands, and I did ask what the community wanted. So as an example, we've got a few short phrases, stuff from the films. This is it. This is it, boys. This is Rev 5. I'm going in. Your X-Wing will accelerate to full speed. It will target the next objective. It will turn on the targeting computer. It will boost your shields to double strength. It will turn on the laser recharge to restore that power you've depleted from the banks by boosting the shields. A lot is happening from giving a very, very short command. If you're telling me that that isn't useful, that's not as useful as a wingman command, I don't agree. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to say I'm right and they're wrong. I just want everybody to have fun. Right, so if that's sold it on you, hopefully you've paid for voice attack, you've installed it. I'm not going to go over installing voice attack. I won't treat you as idiots, because if you've set up XWVM, you know how to install software and open it up. What we do need to do is go over these downloads that I'm giving you. So we've got the XWVM Droid Sounds folder, which is super obvious what it is, but it is divided out into these subdirectories, subfolders. So I've basically just organized the sounds. So if you do want to edit them or create new commands, you can find the right sounds to go with the appropriate phrase. So if you want R2-D2 to seem worried or excited by what you've said, you can choose the right sound. Below that, we have got the advanced profile reference list, reference card, cheat sheet, whatever you want to call it, as a HTML file. Now, when I open this, my OLED screen is going to blind me in white. So we've got the category. I can click on that at the top. So these are now sorted. All the chit-chat commands are together, all the energy management, all the targeting commands, all linked together in alphabetical order, which is helpful to read it. So you can put this on your phone, on your tablet, and reference it that way. You can sort it like I've just done and then print it to paper, if that helps you. Whatever you want to do, this is what you say to get things done. I can't look at it anymore, it's blinding me, but hopefully that helps you. Below that, we have got the actual voice attack profile itself. So I've put this together for you, chosen the phrases, typed all of that out, and then told voice attack, when you hear that phrase, you push this key, you push that key, you push these keys together, you play this sound, you play that sound, and so on. All you got to do is import the profile. But for it to work, you have to have the same key set up in the game as I do. And probably the easiest way for me to share it is to give you this file, the XWVM controls.json file. So that's from what I've done, what I'm using for my copy of the game. So for you to import it, download that file, go to your search bar. On my UK layout keyboard, I do Shift and 5 together to do the % sign, whatever it is for your keyboard. We do app data, all as one word, and the % sign again. Now, the path, the location may be different for you, but it won't matter. We just need to open it. And as long as you've played XWVM at least once, there's no reason you won't have this XWVM folder. So you will have your XWVM controls.json file. Now back it up. Do Control C and then do Control and V to copy and paste, or right click, copy and paste, whatever you're comfortable doing, but back up your file so you can revert back to it if you want to. And then you can copy the file that I'm giving you, and that can be pasted in here. And it will say, do you want to replace the file? So yeah, we know what we're doing, and that's done. Pretty painless. So once you've done that, by all means, go into the game, go into settings and rebind your gamepad controls if you've changed them, set up your joystick and your throttle and your rudder pedals, whatever you want to do, but leave the keyboard keys alone. If you change them, if you make eject be X, for example, you'll say link weapons to go dual or quad fire, and you're just going to eject because you've changed what the controls are from what I've set them to be in voice attack. So let's head into voice attack itself. Probably the most logical thing to start with is importing that profile. So we'll go over here in the top right of the window where it says more profile actions. We'll click that and it says export profile. That will help you if you choose to edit my profile and make changes or put in more phrases. You can create your own cheat sheet. You can export it out as a HTML file, but to import it, we're going to do the import profile option. Click on that and it will give you another window. I don't know where you saved it to. It could be on your desktop, your downloads folder, root the C drive, you know, point it to it, get it imported into the software. And once it's imported, it will be on the drop down menu as a profile. So let's head into the voice attack options, which we do through this little spanner icon in the bottom right hand corner. Let's talk this through. We'll start with the general tab. So we can have voice attack load when Windows boots. We can tick the option for that. We can have it start minimize so it doesn't disturb us. We can have it minimize to system tray. We can have it, if you do the X, the close button, that actually minimizes it, whatever you want to do. We can have it load a profile on startup. So maybe you do create your own profile for Windows and productivity for work when you're doing spreadsheets or AutoCAD. So it automatically loads that because that's what you mainly use it for. But you can set it to XWVM, other games you're playing, whatever suits you. So we've got the joystick option. Now, many of you might be streamers or content creators and you want to do commentary or talk to people in the chat. And the whole time you're speaking, but voice attack is on, it thinks you're trying to give it commands. This can cause confusion and weird things can happen. So for you guys, it would be much better if you set up push to talk. You hold the button down when you want to give a command to voice attack, you let go, it will stop listening to you. So we do the joystick options, give that a click. So we'll need to assign a controller. So I've got my gamepad as an example. So we do assign one, and I've got my gamepad, but if I had my throttle plugged in and my joystick turned on, they'd come up as options as well. So we can choose that. It's saying enable POV hat switches, point of view hat switches. Why is it called point of view? Well, in the old days, these hat switches, you'd have it on the top of your joystick. So you push down to look behind you, left to look left, right to look right, or to pan around, looking around. Get lots of them now on modern setups, and they can all have like a different shape to them. They could be shaped like a pyramid. They could be shaped like the castle, the rook chess piece. The idea is that they're different and you can feel that they're different under your fingertips. So you can enable them, turn however many on that you have. I've got none because I'm using this gamepad. So let's continue with this push to talk. We'll go to the hotkeys tab and we can see there's a recognition global hotkey. So if you do left Alt and F2 together, it will start listening. Do it again, it will stop listening. That's the toggle command. I have set up a command in the profile that you can say start listening, stop listening, cease listening, resume listening. You can do it that way, and when it hears that command, it does those keyboard keys for us. You could do it through the mouse. I don't really recommend it because, as I say, this is global. So whenever you do the back key or whenever you do the middle mouse click to turn voice attack on and off, it's probably going to have an effect on the software you're using at the same time. So I don't recommend that. We've got our joystick button. So, okay, we can do this, do the three dots, enable the joystick global buttons, and we'll now choose what's going to be push to talk. So maybe it's on your throttle, maybe it's the pinky button on your joystick, whatever you've got. So press that button, get it done. But as I say, remember that's global, so it's going to happen with whatever you're using. We don't want conflicts. So what we could do is for XWVM to do push to talk, we could edit the profile, go to options, profile hotkeys. Now in the options we pointed out which controller we wanted to use. So now we'll do override the joystick recognition button and we'll do the three dots here instead, enable it, and now I'll choose left trigger. Why? Because in the game XWVM, they've set that up to toggle the mouse cursor. So you hold it down so you can click on the buttons in the cockpit. Very rare we're going to use that. You could unbind it from the game and we could have this to be toggle start and stop listening. You can choose the option for it to be push to talk, so it listens whilst it's held down. Whatever you want to do. The options are there. Power is in your hands to choose. So let's go back into the voice attack options. And we've got our sounds folder. So this is important because we need to get our Droid sounds in here. Now, yours might be in a different place to where mine is installed. It won't really matter for the profile, but it will matter if you don't have the Droid sounds in there. So for me, it's dug deep in there. Program files, x86, Steam, Steam apps, common, voice attack sounds. You might have it on a different drive and it's Steam library or whatever. So if you've done it through Steam, we can find voice attack, right click, manage, browse local files. It will take us straight to the voice attack folder. There's sounds. So we need to copy that download that I've given you, get that folder in here. Of course, you can do it the other way, the old-fashioned way. You can Windows 11, you can do the start button. There's File Explorer, which opens this up. So you can go to your downloads folder, your desktop, wherever it is that you've got the Droid Sounds folder. We can copy this, do a new tab, and then go C, this PC, C, program files, Steam, whatever, right click and paste. However you want to do it, but we must have those Droid sounds in that folder. Right, so let's move on to recognition. So we've got this utilities button. We'll press that because this is important to do the speech engine training. You'll feel like an idiot doing this because you're basically talking to yourself, but it will give you these phrases to read out. And the more you do this, the better it'll understand you, because we all have different accents. I'm here in the UK, you drive 45 minutes in a direction and everybody starts to sound very, very different. There's nothing wrong with that, but we need the computer to understand how we pronounce words. So do it as much as you can until you're sick of it. Even though you've done that, it might still struggle to understand some words, and you'll know that it's struggling because of the voice attack window. If you say a phrase like boost shields, it should say that, and then it will be in green because it understood that command and it did it. If it didn't understand it, it will be in yellow and it will actually write out what it thought you said. So it could be the example of set deflectors double front, and it understood all of it except front. It thought you said from, not front. And if it keeps making that error, we can add that word to the dictionary. We can add the new word front, and we can do next, and we can record a pronunciation when we click finish, so it 100% knows how we say that word front to resolve that problem. Hopefully it won't happen to you too much, but that's how you fix it. So there's some other options here like recognized speech delay and unrecognized speech delay and command weight and minimum unrecognized confidence level. There'll be other videos on voice attack if you want to watch it on YouTube. I don't want this video to go longer than it needs to be, but you can copy my settings if you want. These work fine for me. We've got the Windows speech recording device. This is important. We need to choose and make sure it's using the microphone we want it to use. I've got lots of options here. I've got my webcam, Antlion mod mic, the wireless Corsair microphone. We've got some virtual microphones where I'm connecting my VR headset wirelessly. So I want to use the Antlion mod mic. The better the microphone is, the better voice attack can understand me. Right, so we've got the audio tab. I don't think we'll need to be changing too much in here at all. We've already gone over hotkeys when we did the push to talk. And we've got system advanced. So run voice attack as administrator. That can be helpful. And I've done that because I do use voice attack with other simulators. So I have HCS voice packs. They sell them because they've got famous actors from sci-fi and they're not going to do the job for free. So obviously someone's got to pay for it. We're the ones that buy the product. But they can be very, very immersive and very, very useful and very fun. And they do packs like Star Citizen and No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, and so on. So they've got their own software that works in tandem along with voice attack. So running voice attack as an administrator can be really, really useful. Right, that's the options. This is the main window. You can see with this headset with this red circle and the line for it that voice attack isn't listening to me. If there was one through these, it would mean it's not recognizing joysticks, it's not recognizing mouse clicks, it's not recognizing keyboard commands. So that's how we know if things are working or not. Let's start going into the profile itself, edit profile, so you know how to read it and you know how to edit it and make changes. So when I did the basic profile, it was very easy to read. And if I wanted to do multiple phrases, they were all divided by a semicolon. So it's easy for you to read, easy for you to edit it. This advanced profile, I'm using dynamic actions, commands. It's a little bit more complicated. You can see we've got these square brackets and semicolons all over the place. So let's explain how to read it. Let's take it from the top. So in our chit chat category, we've got I'm hit, but it's not bad. R2, see what you can do with it. Quote from the film. When you say this, it doesn't actually do anything. It's like we're role playing, like we're talking to the astromech behind us in the game. Now we open up with brackets. It says I'm hit, but it's not bad. Semicolon shuts the brackets down. Because that semicolon is before we close the square brackets, it's made that phrase optional. You can say it or you don't have to. So then after that, we've got R2, see what you can do with it. So you can choose to say the full quote from the film or abbreviate it down to R2, see what you can do with it. That will complete the phrase and it will play back the sound that I've chosen. So let's go over some other ones. It opens up the bracket, says full, semicolon, space for a new word, which is max, semicolon for a new word, space, and then maximum. We close the brackets. There's no semicolon before we close the brackets down, so this is a choice. 3 words, choose one, whichever you prefer. They basically all mean the same thing. So full, max, or maximum. We open up the square brackets again, and again it's a choice of whether you say cannon or laser. We shut the brackets, and recharge is the common word that's always used. So we can say full cannon recharge, max laser recharge, maximum cannon recharge, maximum laser recharge. Just variations, different phrases to get the same thing done. It stops you sounding like a stuck record or a parrot. So hopefully that makes sense to you now. You'll be able to edit these and create your own phrases. So let's go over that quickly. You can do a new command and it says when I say, so type in what you want to say. Keep it basic at first and then you can start experimenting with these dynamic actions and using those square brackets and semicolons. So once you've got your phrase, you can then choose what's going to happen. It could be a key press. So if you know what the keyboard shortcut is in game, you can press it and get it to come up. We can have it push a mouse button. We can have it pause. We can have it do another command. So all of the things I've preset for you, maybe you'd like to link them together to do your own preset combination. So pick one that I've chosen from the drop down menu. And then you can choose that and then choose another one. So you do OK, and then you choose another one. I'm just doing it randomly. And then another one. Whatever it is you want to do, you find yourself commonly doing in the mission. And that's made your combo command. We can also have it just play sounds if you're trying to do that chit chat category and there's more quotes you'd like to do. So you can play a sound which will be a very specific sound that you choose. So we do the 3 dots and we go into our voice attack sounds folder. So XWVM Droid sounds. And this is why they're organized into those different folders. Do you want him to sound worried or excited? Pick your sound. So we've got sad R2 and then you can preview it. Yeah, oh, I quite like that one. We'll use that one or pick another one. We can also play random sound from that folder. So it's a different one every time if you'd rather do that. So again, they're all done, whether it's sad or excited. It could be a random one each time. We'll leave it up to you. So what I used to do when I first started making the profile was have R2-D2 beat back whenever voice attack understood us to confirm that it would do the action. This seemed like a great idea at the time, but I quickly got sick of R2-D2. Now maybe that's because I'm using it more than the average person would when I was testing. But what really bugged me was when I was talking to my wingmen, because they have a voiced reply in the game and I didn't want R2-D2 talking over the top because I wasn't talking to R2-D2. What I'm trying to get at is if you'd like to do that, if you want it to beep at you whenever you give any command and it recognizes it, you can turn that back on. We can go to options. You can go profile exec, click on this box, execute a command each time a command phrase is recognized. Go to the drop down menu. This is in alphabetical order. You're going to have to scroll a while, but you'll get down near the bottom where it says play a random droid sound. There we go. So you can do OK and do done and apply that to the profile if you want it to do that. I decided not to, and what I ended up doing was choosing the specific droid sounds that I wanted. So as we get into the combo commands, wherever they might be, preset combos. So you can see we've got starting my attack run. So it executes, shields the double front, targets what's ahead of me, and it will turn on the targeting computer and it will link the cannons to be dual fire. I did that because in the X-Wing that can still be helpful, doubles up your fire. If you're in the Y-Wing, you've only got the 2 cannons anyway, so you might as well just double those up. And then once all those have completed, it will play R2-D2 sound that I've chosen. So if you want to go further and edit all of these with a specific R2 response, I will leave that work up to you. I've just chose to do it on the preset. Combos. Right, I think that's everything. We're set up. We've gone over the options. Told you how to set up a new commands. I think that's it. So have fun with it, guys. If you've got any problems, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to reply to you and get things fixed. So have a great day. Have a great evening. Whatever you choose to do after watching this. And as always, I'll see you when I see you next. Ciao for now.